Ta-da! Well, well, well. I guess we're alive, sweetheart. Rockin' Dave and Rockin' Deb, North Fort Myers, Southwest. And as the title is going to describe it, we are driving through an area called Gator Alley. Yeah, Gator. Alligator Alley. Yeah. So. Oh yeah, yeah, right there. So people have these little pontoon boats and these airboats, and there's water along here. A lot of times gators will be there. That's why they call it Gator Alley. And so we're driving back from Fort Lauderdale, and we were just visiting friends of ours who came down here. They were on a cruise from Chicago. Now they're heading back up there. Now we're heading back home to where we live in North Fort Myers. So this is basically driving across the state from the East Coast back to the West Coast. And
oh, there you see there's something slipped in the
yeah,
water.
Something's flipping in that water. See, it's kind of hard to, yeah, because you know we're kind of going fast. But this is a strip that they call Gator Alley. I don't know how many miles it is. But it's basically,
over 100.
yeah, it's over 100. It's over 100 from where we were in Fort Lauderdale to our house. I think 157 miles. And people,
The Alligator Alley part, probably about 75.
about 75 miles, yeah. And so we got all this beautiful day. And sometimes you can see them floating around in there, and sometimes you can't. I know, like gators, they're real stealth, you know. They'll just sit there, and sometimes all you'll see is eyeballs, you know. 2 bumps in the water and eyeballs just looking. But, you know, I mean, it's not like some people think that, oh man, Florida's got all these gators running around loose. It's not they're running around loose. No, I haven't seen. Oh, something jumped out of that. Yep. There's something jumping out of the water in there. Yep. No, I haven't seen a gator, you know, laying across the road. But I know they'll do that. Because when I was driving the school bus, one of the ladies got on the radio dispatch, says, "Hey, you want to call animal control? There's a gator laying across the road." And they says, "Okay, whatever you do, don't run it over. You'll blow out your tires." And it'll take out truck tires because their skin is so thick and all bumpy and rocky. So yeah, this is part of Florida living. And some of these people, they come down, they hunt the gators, but you know, I don't know. They have a restriction, don't they, on how many they could hunt? I don't know. That's what I thought someone had said.
There is no restriction on pythons.
No restriction on hunting pythons. You could hunt as many pythons.
The state pays for.
Yeah, the state pays for people to hunt python snakes. But you know, but other than that, I mean, see, they really try to keep things in control down here. That's why there's certain areas. You'll be driving, you'll see a sign that'll say, if you're caught littering, it's a $500 fine. Let's see, I got someone, oh, we got a couple of viewers. Yeah, we honestly didn't mean we could be, oh, Will, how you doing? Hey, Dave, how you doing? First, I get to see your feet last night, and I have now. I get to see the highway. Yeah. All right, here you, Mitch Heyman, what's happening, man? How you doing, Mitch? Good to see you. So I think, Mitch, I think you were gonna, let's see, the last video I seen, you were gonna buy another guitar. And I apologize, we've been kind of busy, man. So how's your Ibanez doing? And that Yamaha amp. You know, that Yamaha amp you have, when you buy them used, their value is still high. I've seen a used one at Guitar Center going for like, I thought it said 2 something. And even though it was in mint condition, you know. See, the Yamaha I have, it's the THR10C. Oh, good. No, that's good. But the TH10C, it's more for classic amps. The TH10X, those are for the metal sounds. Those sound great. So yeah, so we're going through this area called Alligator Alley. And the water there, as well as on the other side, but usually gators will just float, just swim along the water there. And that's why it's all fenced off. And I think this is a stretch of something like 75 miles. So we're on our way back from Fort Lauderdale. Figure, okay, we'll go live. I don't have the guitar with me, obviously. But when I get home, I gotta go over some songs I play for church tomorrow, for the church band. The drummer that plays at this church in Cape Coral, he toured when he was younger. Yep, there's something over there. See?
I don't know if that was an alligator.
I think that was. You know, this is what makes, because we're going so fast. But if when you see something that looks like a log or something along, it's a gator. And sometimes they'll just be swimming or they'll just be floating.
There's people fishing.
Yeah, there's people fishing out there. You know, the gators, they don't really bother you, you know. They're more afraid of us than we are of them, because to a gator, we stand tall. And I think that's what freaks them out. Now, this one guy was telling me that the crocodiles, they're more aggressive, but there's not that many crocodiles down here. There's more alligators, and the alligators don't like the crocodiles. And it's kind of weird, you know, but you know, this is how nature is. You know, the crocodiles outnumber the alligators, so they kind of oust the crocodiles. So the crocodiles that are down here, they're only in certain areas, and they're in like small groups. They're not real big as far as their in numbers. But the gators, yeah, there's definitely a lot of alligators down here. And even the kids would tell me when I drove the school bus, they said, they don't really bother you. Because you don't want to go poking around at them, you know, and then you're messing with them. Now they're going to attack because you're messing with them. You know, trying to see if that's the side of the road there. But yeah, this is miles and miles of just, you know, open land and swamp. Now I'm going to turn the phone slowly in that direction, and further that way south is the Everglades. I'll tell you what, at nighttime, how about it, Deb? Is it dark down here? Woo! It's pitch black. There's just no lights. And that's when you gotta just be careful. But you know, people do stupid things, and then they get themselves hurt, and then they cry like babies, and then next thing you know, diapers and pacifiers. Yep. No, but you know, I was talking last night, and I mentioned last night, Mitch, about and Will, about the you know, the Ibanez Prestige, and you got the Blue Burst one. I think you, EJ's Guitars, and I think you guys got the Prestige. But the one that is not the Prestige, they have one exactly the same finish with the ash, clear ash back and sides, and maple fretboard. But the whammy system, it's more like the Floyd Rose than it is the low profile edge systems. It's like they changed the cosmetics on the edge. And I'm just wondering if it is because it's cheaper for them to at the machine shop, or if someone who actually owns the patent on the edge, low profile edge design, you know, maybe they left Ibanez and they said, I'm taking that design with me. You know, that happens. But they're really good guitars, reliable. But you know, any guitar could be a reliable guitar. It's really all what you like. Let's see, I'm gonna check out on the chance. Oh, Mitch, yeah, I use my Poly SE. Oh, that's nice. And the Boss Katana 100, sweet. I'll tell you what, Mitch, I'd rather, with the combination that you have right there, the Boss Katana 100, the Paul Reed Smith SE, like the Custom 24, yeah, the Custom 24, yeah, that combination, you got a great combination right there, because those Boss Katanas, what I do like about them, they got a sweet spot in some of those tones. And it's not like they're trying to be all things, you know? They're just enhancing of what their sound is. And, let's see. Oh, well, I spy with my little eye, sometimes green. Oh yeah, the alligators and fishing for, yeah. I'll tell you what, man. It is definitely different down here. Hey, Zach Thon, how are you? No lights, yeah. Oh, Quentin laugh. Yeah, Quentin James. Yeah, hey, how's it going, guys? We decided to go live just for the ride here. Kind of show you parts of certain areas down here you might not always see. You know, people always think of Florida as, you know, Disney, and we have that, of course. You know, yeah, goofy clowns and that. You know, let's see. I am having a bit of trouble with with your Paul Reed Smith SC staying in tune after I hit the trem bar. I wonder if it's not like returning back, which is kind of strange, because, you know, on the headstock of Paul Reed Smith guitars, you know, the G, the tuning peg for the G string, it's tapered in, you know, so it shouldn't really have any problem. And I think the nut is like a graphite type of nut, you know. Does it have any locking tuners, Mitch? Let's see. Oh, I think the problem is, is in the nuts. Yeah, that's what I bet it is, Mitch. You know, it's always going to be in that area, you know, because obviously when you're using a whammy bar, the strings are moving, and they might be getting caught up in the nuts. You know, trick it, I'm sure you know this, Mitch. Used to take a thing of chapstick and just brush it across the nut so the strings would have more of a lubrication there, you know. No, I think it's not a graphite nut, plastic. Yeah, that could be. Yeah, that could be, and it could be just the strings getting caught up on that plastic part of the nut. You know, we used to take pencil, but before you put the strings in there, you know. Oh, chapstick, I just saw something about, yeah, all these tricks, and I'm glad I'm starting to see people talk about this on YouTube. Like, I saw this video a while back with Steve I talking about shaving down the guitar pick, the sides on the carpet. We used to do that, still do that, because after a while the pick gets worn out. That if you want a nice point, but the carpet can't be real thick, you know, it's got to be kind of a flat carpet. Hey, Avant-Garde, what's happening, man? Connecting back, yep. Yeah, we're driving through Alligator Alley. They call this Alligator Alley. I mean, it almost looks like it's just wooded areas. Especially up there, here's some ponds, you know, some water. And I think even further up there, you'll see that it'd be fenced off, really fenced off. And you'll see more of a wooded area, trees. And yeah, but like I say, right along here, wooded area, water. A lot of times gators just float there. And I know that one time we came down here, man, I saw a bunch of them. Just floating in the water. But yeah, you know, Mitch, that's just. See, here's the deal. So if you have that problem with the SE, right? And I mean, I tell you what, I'd rather buy the SE than the regular Paul Reed Smith, because if I'm going to drop $2,000 or $3,000 and it's not going to stay in tune, I just have a hard time with that. You know, maybe I'm just cheap. I'm starting to become cheap, not want to spend money. And I love a lot of these guitars. I think a lot of the craftsmanship is, you know, it's great and everything. But I don't buy them to hang on a wall to look at. And there's nothing wrong with that, because like I said, they're a work of art. But if you're gigging in that, or if you're trying to record and the thing doesn't stay in tune, man, I'll tell you what, it won't take long for it to piss me off and say, you know what, I'm taking this sucker back. And for one expensive Paul Reed Smith, I could buy, let's see, an SC, maybe an Ibanez, a Katana, some effect pedals, you know, and, you know, make sure they're going to last and work, and I'm good to go. Let's see. Yeah, I will never pay over $1,000 for a guitar anymore. Yeah, Mitch, I agree with you 100%, man. You know, we're all getting older, and maybe it's because we've been playing for so long, and the wow factor after a while, it just wears off, you know? And especially nowadays with so many guitar makers, you know, pumping out more affordable guitars that are really great guitars that they're reliable. Now, see, in this area right here, this is more, but you see, it's hard to see them because they got the trees on both sides. But there's water in between, and that's where really you see a lot of the gators. They'll just be sitting there floating. Let's see. Dale Palmer, what's happening, man? Yeah, and on the highway, I know what you mean. Yeah, we're on the highway on what's called Gator Alley, Interstate 75, going across the state of Florida. We were in Fort Lauderdale. Now we're headed back home to North Fort Myers, and we figure, all right, let's kind of do a video. You know, because when you drive through here at nighttime, man, it is black. You can't see anything. Now, there's more water. Trying to see it. See, we're going so fast, sometimes it's so hard to see. But there was a boat floating back there, Deb, like a rowboat, and it was empty.
It was empty.
Yeah.
Not a good sign.
Not a good sign, man. Especially if he's got like a 6-pack in there with a couple of cans missing, and the boat is floating there empty, and the gator is flipping around like it just got done eating something or someone. Not a good thing, man. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, Mitch Heyman. Yeah, over $1,000 is not for me anymore either. Yeah, you know, we got that Gibson Les Paul on a really good deal one time.
Here we go, the big fence.
Yeah, here's the bigger fence right here, guys. So with the barbed wire on top. So here, the gators, they're really active. You know, this is like where they all migrate through this area. And sometimes you could see them. They'll just float, man. And be swimming, looking for food or something. A lot of times they just want to be left alone, you know. Hey, that fence is down. Oh, there's a couple. Yeah.
A couple of people over there?
I don't know. Looked like something was going on in there. Yeah. Now it could be the conservation. Ah, there was something floating in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw his head.
Yep. Sorry, guys. I know. See, we gotta see. This is what the road looks like, and I know because of the sun, but so you only have a little bit of a shoulder right there, and they won't. The police come by if you're on that shoulder. If you're not really doing anything, they'll come by and chase you out because they don't want people messing. You know, there's been too much stuff that goes on. You know, kids come down messing around, and spring break. You know. And then they got to chase them out, and then mom and dad's going to sue the state of Florida because their kid decided to do something stupid, and they got hurt, and it's Florida's fault. Well, the sign, you got barbed wires, the sign says no trespassing. So, I don't know, maybe you ought to, like, learn how to read or something. Yeah, see, here's where you really could see some of them. I know this is kind of going fast, so it's like you're probably saying, gee, Dave, we don't see anything except stuff going by, you know what I mean? But yeah, guys, I'm not really a big fan of spending a whole lot of money. I haven't spent over $1,000 for a guitar yet. Dale Palmer, you're a smart man, my friend. I don't care what they come out with. I mean, you know, it's very hard to spend that kind of money now. Unless you know you have the money to spend. And then you want to say, okay, I already spent that money before. Now I think I just kind of want to see it sit in the bank, you know, and grow. And again, I'm not saying anything bad about it, you know, unless you want to, you know, if you're going to buy a guitar for over $1,000 and you got something to sell and trade in and that, you know, that's different. But it's just kind of sad that you spend all this money and something doesn't stay in tune, or it breaks, or it's, you know, it's like, are you kidding me? And I know there's a lot of the other YouTubers, and they're, you know, I'm not saying anything bad about them, and about what they're saying about the quality of the woods and the rarity of woods, and, you know, there's a legitimacy there. It's just that if you're going to use it to perform, and it doesn't stay in tune, well, you know, the proof is in the performance. But I'll tell you what, those Boss Katana amps, man, those things are... Boss came out with a real winner with those, man. Nice and lightweight. I remember I seen the video with Rob Chapman doing a kind of a shootout. The Boss Katana 50 versus Live Drummer. And I'm glad that he did that, because it'll just show that, yeah, that amp is loud. So, and actually a live performance, when you actually get a mic to amp, that's really all you need. And who wants to lug around a heavy stack around anymore, you know? Especially, you know, at our age. We've been there, done that. We're tired. We're tired. Yeah, see, guys, it's kind of hard to see us. Now, see, there's some birds floating around here, ducks. So the gators are not active. But yeah, this is what they call Alligator Alley. And you know what, I really think there's a lot of growth that's going on down here in Florida, but I think they're going to leave this area, and what would be behind us, what we see this way, behind us and further south, that's the Everglades. We haven't really gone through the Everglades. As far as, you know, renting a boat and all that, you know, one of those big old airboats or fan boats, I forget what they're called. But I'll tell you what, one time I pulled up, this guy pulls up next to me on a pickup truck, and he's pulling this boat, and on the boat he had a big old shark cage with all his harpoons and all kind of stuff. Yeah, see, there's something floating around in there. I tell you what, like in the fall, and you get the swamp fog, this whole area is all foggy, man.
Yeah, right there's an alligator.
Yep, there he is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Whoa.
Yep.
That was cool.
Yeah, see, they'll just swim along and float along, and I know this is probably unfair. You guys are probably saying, well, I didn't see anything. The guys are going so fast, because, yeah, we're doing, what, 70?
Yes, yeah. Sun cruise control is 70.
Yeah. So let's see what, yeah. Yeah, Boss gets no respect, yeah. Oh, where are we headed? We are going back to, hey, what's happening, Ron? We are headed back to North Fort Myers. We're driving from Fort Lauderdale. And we had some friends get off the cruise ship, and so we met with them. GTV Guitars, what's happening? Yeah, I'm driving a big ass truck through. Oh, you've done that before, through Gator Alley before. So yeah, you know what's going on. Yeah. And you know that they'll, hey, GTV, you know they'll just sit out here or they'll just float. You just see these gators floating around, man. You know? But let's see, let's see, yeah, Boss gets no respect anymore. They're a great company. You know, they've been around for a long time. You know, I remember in the early 2000s and in the Guitar World magazines, and when Digitech was really going strong with their effect processors, they were giving Boss a run for their money. Now it's kind of the other way around, you know. And I don't know what's really going on with Digitech and Harman International, because they're owned by Harman International, and I think the company's restructuring, and which is real sad, because I want to say it was NAMM Show 2015 or 2014 with the first version of the Trio pedal, the Digitech Trio pedal, and they won Product of the Year. And then, you know, the next thing you know, there's issues. Let's see. Let's see there. Oh yeah, David. If I can't use it, I don't need it, bro. Yep. Will Vera, you got that right, man. After a while, it's like Ed Dana said it best. You know, that's why he'll sell some of his stuff. Oh yeah, they will float and wait. Yep. Yeah, they will, GTV. They definitely will. I still use your NS2. Oh yeah, and your OD1. Ed Dana, what's happening, man? Yeah, we're out of the gate. You know, Ed, we saw a couple, but you see, we're going so fast, they just float there. It'll look like there's a log or just something sitting there, and that's a gator. You know, because what they do, they like to hide. Gators really don't like to come out and mess with people. Because what guy was telling me, a gator sees a person, the gator's looking up at us, and we look like giants to them. So we kind of freak them out just as much as they freak us out. And they don't know what to do. And the taller you are, especially for an adult, and if a gator's not really hungry, and if it's not a female going to try to get food for the pups or anything like that, they really won't mess with you. Or whatever, the babies, or whatever the hell you call them, pups. I don't know. You know, I've watched enough of, what was that? Mutual Omaha's Wild Kingdom in the 70s. Yeah, Mama Gator protecting the puppies. But usually gators they're not going to attack you. Like, you know, these movies got it all. They got it all screwed up. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, there's Dale. Yeah, a friend of mine took me water skiing on Lake Tarpon, and let's see. And I didn't realize there were so many alligators in the lake until we cruised a few. Yeah, okay, by a few, yeah. But you see, Dale, that's just it. You went skiing in there, and if your friend didn't tell you that, and you really didn't see them, you really wouldn't know. See, that's what I mean. And I'll tell you what, they're real good down here with not only protecting the gators and the wildlife, but controlling them. I know it was about a year ago, there was a lady walking her dog. She had a little poodle, and I forget what time of day she was doing this, along the water in the pond, but on the shoreline of the pond, the gator was there. The gator was hungry. The gator attacked the poodle because the poodle is small. But this lady, she freaked out and she went hitting the gator. Now there's people in there fishing, Deb. I don't know how they're getting in. Yeah, I don't know. Unless they pay. You know what? Those launching pads, I wonder if you could pay and they'll let you come down here certain times of the day. But anyway, so she goes to protect her dog, and the gator grabbed her arm, and obviously she's fighting, the gator's fighting, and, you know, obviously the gator killed her. They found, I think the gator, think the gator ate her then. Yeah, guys, I think that gator got her. Because when they caught it, this is what I heard. And this was about a year ago. And I wasn't exactly down here. It was down here in Florida, but I was thinking it was further north in Florida. And they cut the gator open and they found the body parts of the lady. And I mean, that's real sad. But I mean, what are you gonna do? You can't do stuff that's, you know, maybe she didn't know. Who knows? But you gotta use common sense. You can't just challenge life, you know, wildlife. So yeah. Yeah, so Ed Dana, I was saying about those, you know, those tuners. I was kind of joking about it, but I agree with you, man. Those headstock tuners are okay, but nothing beats just plugging right in and giving that direct signal, because you could get back. Because sometimes, and if you've done this, we'll check out your video, because I don't think all these tuners are calibrated the same. Oh yeah, he took us into a cove and got too close to one guarding a nest. Yes, she jumped in the water and came after us. Yeah, see, okay, he reached quickly and got us out. Yeah, got you guys out of here quickly. Yeah. See, Dale, that's where they're gonna really get aggressive, if they're protecting the nest. Which really, if you think about it, any animal is going to do that. Now, they do have, in the area where I drive, an area that has these crossings, panther crossings, because they got wild panthers down here. Vietnam, what's happening, my friend? Oh, bam, see, I'm sorry about that, man. I'm visiting some friends that just got off a cruise ship. So this is what Alligator Alley looks like. But see, it's kind of hard because we're going real fast. There are gators just sitting there floating, but they're kind of hard to see. If you see anything that looks like a log floating there, he dove, yeah. You see, you have the crocodiles down here too, but there's not that many crocodiles, according to what a guy told me. He's been in Florida and all, you know, read his channel. I mean, I hope that's what it is. Yeah, you know, it could be because of some certain areas, or if there's too much activity on the phone, you know. But this is part of what Florida looks like. This is part of what it looks like. So, anyways, guys, I think I'm gonna just shut this off, because I think, okay. Oh yeah, he's alive. There we go. Yep. You hear me? I'm here, man. You know, but see, this is why I like going live. But when this happens, it's like, really, what the hell's going on? You know. But yeah, I hope I hope that EJ's guitarist is doing all right, man, you know. And, you know, there's so much stuff that goes on out there, you know. People get all PO'd about this, that, and the other.
Find his channel.
Well, I did try, it's not, no one can find his channel, so. Now, maybe he's just saying, you know what, I'm going to restructure and, you know, redo my channel. That could be. Okay, so you see now we got all this vegetation, so it's really hard to see anything. Okay, there's water again. But you see, people got it, they have this notion that, I mean, if you want to go looking for gators, yeah, you're going to find them. You know, but it's not like, oh, don't move to Florida, you're going to be chased down the street by alligators and snakes. No, we haven't had that happen. We'll let you know when that happens. I'll bust out this phone and we'll start doing live. Say, look, there comes a gator. Yeah, I think he can keep the stream alive if it reconnects within 5 minutes. Yeah, see, this is what happens. I don't know if any of you guys go through this when you do your live streams, but it happens.
Oh, he just dove.
He just dove?
Yeah.
You see, this is what I mean. Now, what this guy told me, Deb, is that when the gators hear all the noise, they get freaked out and they dive, they go into the water. So I think it all scares them. But I'll tell you what, it'd be really interesting one day, be just going out, I don't want to say going out there, but going in an area where you could really just watch them. Yeah, I could set up an Aussie camp. Oh, okay, well, maybe I'm reading that. Yeah, or a raccoon camp. Yeah. Yep. Gator equals barbecue. You're right.
Yeah.
You know, they got this thing called gator tail down here. Deb loves them.
Oh, I love it.
I never really had it.
Yummy.
Maybe I should try it.
Low in fat.
I should. Yeah, I'm not really a. Yeah, high in protein, I guess. Yeah, but I'm not really a seafood eater, and anything that could eat.
Alligator's not seafood.
Not seafood. Yeah. I guess it's like eating a gecko or something. I don't know. There's hardly anything. Yeah, well, not for me, man. Not eating gator, at Dana says. No. Anything that could eat me, I don't think I want to eat it. You know what I mean? I don't know. But, yeah, but Deb, Deb's braver than I am, you know. Gator boots, yeah. Gator boots. See, that's the thing. They're afraid of us. They're like, Jesus, you're making boots out of us. You're making wallets and belts. I think you're humans. We want to stay away from you. You guys are nuts. And watch, they'll all team up one night. Come walking down. They'll be walking down this road. I'll tell you what, guys. There's a lot of car accidents that happen down at nighttime. Because you get these kids, they're drinking and they're made of steel. And they come flying down this road, and they lose control, and they bounce off the rails, and boom.
They want to race because it's a long stretch.
It's a long stretch. They want to race. That's what it is. Because, I mean, it's a straightway for quite some time. Yeah, see. I know, guys, it's kind of like, you're probably figuring, all I see is trees going by. It's kind of like hard. Trees. I don't see any gators. Everglades. Yep. Yeah, but this is part of, part of Florida. Oh, there you go. Gator Hampshire. Hey, where are you, Dave? Going to the Keys? No, Ed, we're headed back from Fort Lauderdale. We're on a road that it's actually Interstate 75. But in this section here, it's also known as Alligator Alley. And
in June we're going to the Keys for a wedding.
Yeah, in June we're going to the Keys for a wedding gig, and then after we're done with that, we're gonna fly up to. Well, we'll wait. Yeah.
We're gonna go boating on
the Illinois River. We're gonna fly back up to our old house. Just to go boating with Deb's brother. He bought a new pontoon boat. So, let's see. Yeah, even when all the cows and the chickens no longer exist, I will never eat gator because that's what salad is for. That's right, Will. Yeah. That's a good one, man.
Well, the cows might be the first to go if you know who has their way.
Oh yeah, if she has her way, they'll get no more cows because of methane gas. It's gonna, they fart too much, and the sun's gonna fall out of the sky, and they just did new research, found out the world really is flat. I mean, really.
We're gonna solve world hunger with the donut seeds.
Yeah, with donut seeds, thinking that Cheerios is known as donut seeds. Oh, let's see. Okay, how far of a trip? How far? It's actually, Fort Lauderdale is 157 miles from our house. But Gator Alley is about a 7. We're back. Okay, come on. Yeah. Okay, now I'm thinking my Mesa Boogie. Come on. Would. Oh. See you, everyone. Yeah, Ryan, you have a good one, man. Yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next chat later. Yeah, no problem, guys. Yeah, if the emotion's getting you sick, don't even worry about it, man. I know you can only take so much of it going, you know. But yep, I'm back again after the umpteenth time of it freezing and doing what and everything. Yeah, I see my hands covering it. But yeah, Dale. I know, and a lot of people were saying that Boss will get bad reputation or bad rap on some of the, like, okay, this Boss Next Tone. I saw a guy do a review on it, and he's trying to say, well, I don't see any difference between the simulated EL84s, the simulated EL34s, the 6L6. Well, you're not really gonna get that much of a difference until you kind of crank it, but it's just giving you an idea, and I think that's kind of a smart thing to do. So if a person does want to buy a tube amp, they could say, well, you know what, I kind of like the tone I'm getting out of this, so this will maybe give me an idea if I buy a Marshall that's got EL84s, but overall, I think what Boss did, they were not trying to put so much. Oh, in or out, Dave left. Yeah, I'm in. Yeah, I'm in, man. Let's see. I think the Katana is more versatile. Yeah, I agree with you. I do agree with you. The Katana is definitely a lot more versatile. I know that, especially with the 100, you do have more options with the foot switch and with downloading extra effects. But coming out the gate, it is more versatile. And what is nice about it is it does have a setting for acoustic. So what it means, if you run an acoustic guitar through it, it's going to almost act like an acoustic amp or, like a PA system. That right there is a good thing to have. Let's see. It also has more range options. Yeah, it does. It really does. The Boss Next Tone, it has the more of, if you don't want all these options, then they're going to have the options with the power amp section. And I still think a lot of it, for the most part, it is analog. I do know someone had mentioned about the PV Vipers are more analog, and it's only a few of the effects that are digital. So that's why you could do more of a rolled guitar. You roll down the volume on your guitar, and with the overdrive, it kind of cleans up. It doesn't have a brittle sound. I think the Boss Katana does that too. But it's lightweight. You don't have to worry about tubes or anything like that. But when we grabbed that George Benson amp, we just did it because it might be a short run of that specific signature model. Yeah, see, I am thinking of picking up the 50 watt to use with my Piazza. Oh yeah, there you go. And or electroacoustic. Also can use it from practice at low wattage mode. Yeah, I'll tell you what, guys, and even I'm glad that Guitar Hack was also talking about this. A lot of the gigs, man, they don't want you to play loud. And Guitar Hack was, when he had his last gig, he's playing away and the band's rocking and they sounded awesome. And then they take a break and here comes the DJ. The DJ is 10 times louder than the band. And then when their break is over, I'm guessing that the club owner says, yeah, now keep the volume down, it's too loud. But yet the DJ can crank up the music, It doesn't make any sense, but this is what's happening out in the gigging world, Everything has changed so drastically that it's like no one wants to hire a band, They top you off at $400, and that's great if you have a 4-piece band, because at least everyone's going to get $100 a piece. But now you got 5 and 6 piece bands, 7-piece bands, and you're still getting $400 for the whole band. So that means per person your pay just went down, So and there's more water we're seeing. No gators, huh, Deb? Didn't see any yet. I mean, we've seen some back there. As long as they don't come chasing us down the road, you know. But yeah, it's kind of sad what's happening. But yeah, I actually, Bam, I actually plugged into that 50-watt katana before we left Illinois, and I was impressed with it. I'm like, wow, man. Yeah, the DJs have taken over, Dave. Yep, they certainly have. And now what's happening with these DJs? Now they're going through what I call the price wars, because DJ number one comes out with a price. DJ number two down the road, he could get the same music, and now he tells the club owner, "Hey man, I'll come and I'll do the gig for $10 cheaper." Okay, let's see, Bam. I don't get to use my 100-watt Marshall. Oh yeah, you got the JVM 410 anymore. Even my Black Star HT50 or HT5R 212 is too loud, really for home. Need valves to get. That's what I mean. Hey, Guitar Hack, what's happening? Yeah, we're back after like 6 or 7 tries. You know, all the drop-offs. I'm glad, Guitar Hack. I'm glad that you did mention about what's happening with the volumes in the clubs. And everyone's like hitting a panic. He's too loud. The drummer's too loud. And you know, the drummer, you guys were playing at a very, very, I thought from what I heard, a very controlled and comfortable volume. And that's really good, because you know how it is. If a drummer's not playing electronic drum kit, he's got to really control his dynamics by his playing. So, and you can only play so soft. And then you would also mention, Guitar Hack, one of your live chats, that man, the volume was so low that you heard your electric guitar and you heard the amp, you know. So I mean, how much lower could you go before these people? I mean, it doesn't make sense. And why even have live music? We have live music, but we can't play loud, you know. Okay, I mean, I understand that, but then tell the bands, you know, bands, BANDS, bands. Let's see, not a guitar trio, not a quartet, bands, a drummer. You know, I mean, at some point you gotta think, you know. Let's see. Oh yeah, the 50-watt is a beast for low money. It is. It really is, and great for just home jamming, band practice, and even small gigs. Yeah, you know, Bam, and you go to pick up that amp, it's nice and light, and it just sounds awesome. Dale. Sorry about that. I'm thinking about getting the $200. Oh yeah, my mono price amp. Let's see if I'm reading it, because this is moving. It gets great reviews, and there's not much to lose. Yeah, it's just it. Ed Dana. Yeah, that's exactly why our drummer uses electronic. Yeah, Ed, that's exactly why you see more and more drummers using electronic drum sets. And okay, especially if you could drop some serious money, you know, the electronic drums. I remember when the Lynn drum came out, and remember the first version of electronic drum sets, Deb? How horrible they were. Oh my God. It's like they were toys. But see, technology has advanced so much, and it is a great thing for a drummer if he's got electronic kit. You can bring the volume down. And then still, if you hear the sticks clicking, then here comes the manager. You know what it is? Some of these people, they're like, got pissy pants, you know? They want to have a band, but then they don't want loud music, or they don't want any music, but they don't want this, but they want you to play these covers, but they don't want you to do that. And it's like, you know, why don't you make up your mind? You know? It's like too much going on. Yeah, but you're right. But a lot of places here are cutting out bands for acoustic acts. Yep. Let's see. Yeah, you got to be heard over drums. You do. That's just it. You know, here's the thing, and all of you guys, I could agree with this. If you take the electric guitar and you tell the average club owner electric guitar right away, they've got it in their head, even though a lot of them don't know who Yngwie Malmsteen is, but in their head, it's a wall of speakers and it's loud. But then when you take your guitar out of the case and you just strum the strings, and you're like, I can't hear anything. Well, that's how the electric guitar really sounds. You got to plug it in, you know? So I don't know, maybe the new movement will be the band goes out on stage with either, like what Mitch Heyman, you know, the little Yamaha TH10 or the small little Boss micro cubes, you know what I mean? And you know, the stage is filled with just those little amps. And the drummer comes out with a tambourine or some electronic kit, you know what I mean? Because I don't know. And then the singer doesn't even use a PA, just, you know, sing loud. And maybe that's what they need. And then they'll get complain about that. They say, how come it doesn't sound like the record? Well, that's because I have to use this. Yeah, but don't bring that out. But I want it to sound like the record. Well, I don't know, you know, at some point you gotta just use a little common sense. So, but yeah, Ed, I got a Kigo connected. Yeah, we're back again. Let's see. A lot of pub bars are not equipped for live. That's true. Bands, no PAs, not enough outlets or space to play. Perfect. Absolutely, Will. That's what's going down. And that last video you did, Guitar Hack, I saw that. That. You know what? That's what I look for. How many outlets? That's why I made the joke that if you ever seen like the Griswold Christmas movies, he's got the Christmas tree, Cousin Eddie, that's gonna come with it, and the wall socket's got like 600 plugs out of the wall socket. You know, the club owner is gonna have the DJ and the band. They're gonna plug everything into one surge protector out of one outlet, and you know it's got to be maybe 15 amp wall socket, you know, so you could be tripping circuit breakers and everything. But you're right, Will. A lot of it's everything has changed out here. The whole platform has changed drastically. Where now, what used to be the stage, they got rid of the stage and they got more tables in. I'm gonna turn it this way now because the sun's going this way. So, have any of you guys experienced this? Yeah, oh, we play out of one plug a lot of the time. Yeah, Guitar Hack.
Wow.
Yeah, out of one plug. There's a video, it's up there. And I'm glad he did this. Guitar Hack, I'm glad you did that because people need to see what's going on out here. So they're unloading, they got the gear on the stage, and Guitar Hack says, yeah, look, there's one plug. And the DJ was plugging into that outlet too.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, so
it's a 30 amp.
I hope it's a 30 amp too. But you know, that's what's going on. And this is what has been happening, you know. And of course it's gonna make an impact on the music industry. So if it wasn't for YouTube, and that's why you see more and more amps coming in with, you know, USB plugs and access to the computer. You know, the manufacturers are they're starting to realize that the whole live scene platform has changed to such a degree where no one could sell loud amplifiers anymore. Hey, Ron Limber, what's happening, man? Yep, we are still on a line here. We're still up and going. See, I think what's happening now, we're getting closer to where there's more of a satellite connection because there's certain areas through Alligator Alley that is just nothing but drop-offs, you know.
Yeah, we're out of Alligator Alley.
Yeah, we're out of Alligator Alley now, but we're still on the road. 75 north. But yeah, that's what's been happening. So the club owners, that you know, they want to have live music. Oh, what I was just saying, they want to put all the responsibility on everyone bringing people out. Now, okay, I can understand that. So if they're going to hire you, they would like to see more people come to their facility. But what's going on that they have to rely so much on the musicians all the time? I mean, is there something going on where they're just, no one's going out? They can't support or can't, you know, make the money like they used to because the competition is so fierce. I'll tell you what, you know, another big competition that's going on with the restaurants is these food trucks. Now the food trucks, they're driving around, and I'll tell you what, if I were to get into the restaurant business, which I really wouldn't, because it's impossible. You got so much stacked up against you. With first of all, health inspectors, you know. But a lot of people opted out the brick and mortar building. They get a food truck. They pay their licensing and that, and you know they still have to go through health inspectors and all that. It's got to be clean. But where they have the advantage is if a certain location is dead, they pack up and start their engines and they just drive on down to the next town and set up shop, and they're making money, you know. Now, if they could figure out a way to have like those toy haulers, you have to drop the backdrop out. Now we're gonna have the band play, you know. But see, you need a team. You need a whole crew for this. Unless you wanna, you know, Deb and I get a food truck, and as I'm playing, I'm serving a hot dog, and then Deb's collecting the money, you know, and then that's when I'm gonna be really clinking and clunking, because as I'm serving a hot dog, I'm playing legato style, you know. You can only do so much with that. Zach Thong is back. What's happening, my friend? Hey, Dave. Make it in the old days. Bars, clubs, pubs. Yep, they did. Yeah, they did. That's right. Had cabaret license, so they had PAs and space. That's how they drew an audience. Yep. Besides the booze, yeah. It was, yeah, definitely. Well, see, it was a different time back then. People were loving to go out. What's happening? Thrash metal, fun and riffs. What is happening? Yeah, nothing wrong with selling wieners, right? I tell you what, everyone likes a hot dog. This was a while back. This was like in 2002. We were up in Port Richey, Florida. We were still living in Illinois. And we come down to visit Deb's parents. They were snowbirds. And Deb would take spring break off from college. And we were at Encore Music, and I didn't know he was there because we didn't see the signs. But we actually met Bo Diddley. He did a guitar clinic, and we got a chance to talk with him. And he would say, "Yeah, always remember, a musician's steak is a hot dog." And but yeah. Let's see, bars and clubs are struggling to get enough people, and since the smoking, you're right, Bam. That smoking ban did a lot. It really did a lot. Can't pay a band with with 4+ people anymore. Yeah, that's what's going on. Simply, they don't have the money.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, before the clubs would have the PAs, some of the places would, because Deb had a sound system, and they'd call Deb, and she'd come out with her PA.
Yeah.
There used to be a place in Aurora, Illinois called Malo's, and she had her PA, Malo's. Then it turned into Raleigh's Rock House, and we used to play there. God, we were there every month.
Every month.
But yeah, so Thursday's gig that I did was gig number 1. I'd say I can't really complain, because in the short time I've been down here, we did 188 gigs. And the only reason why we take track of it is because we're watching how much we're making, you know. But a lot has dropped off a little, you know. Let me see if I can get down. Yeah, big time, you know. So does anyone got any gigs? Is anyone playing? I don't know if you got any Guitar Hack or Ed Dana. Yeah, is Kyle Busch driving? Yeah. 188 gigs. Yeah, wow. Yeah, well, thanks, man. But you know what it is? We're very driven, and it's only because, you know, when you live in a city where there's a lot of competition, you just hit it hard. You just keep going and going and going, you know. And that's how we hit it down here. Yeah, gig in a couple of weeks. Yeah, so Guitar Hack, sometimes doesn't it feel good that you could have a weekend? Because I remember in one of your chats you had mentioned that when you were doing the wedding gigs, the wedding bands, and you were gigging like every weekend. And I think you also did it with another cover band. It was like maybe you only had 2 weekends off the whole year. And after a while, man, it catches up with you. You get that weekend off, and you like to chill, and that it kind of feels good, man, to just sit back. You know, because it's not the plane. The plane is always fun. It's dragging the equipment around. You know, and then usually you're doing 4 sets, 5 sets. You know, so yeah, you're tired. Yeah, nice to have the weekend off. Yep. Yeah, that's basically what we have right now. We just visited some friends that just got off the cruise. And then tomorrow I got the church gig because I'm playing with this church band, which is always fun to do. You know, the drummer, he works for UPS now. He's a driver. He's been driving for 33 years. But before that, he was on the road. He said he's a really good drummer too. He said he realized he was getting burnt out from the road when one morning he's getting the continental breakfast, and he played in like a lot of these show bands. So it's like you go to one town, do a show, another town, do another show, and he said that one morning he's getting his breakfast and a lady comes up to him and says, "Yeah, nice performance. It's a great day, isn't it?" And he said, you know what? He didn't even know what town he was in. He was been going, and that's because he's partying and getting drunk and high. And he said the work got so intense that you're going and going and going. You play, you sleep, you eat. You're lucky if you get enough time to rehearse and keep up your chops. You get back out there and you play, you eat, you sleep, then you're back on the road. And sometimes you're not getting proper rest because you got movement going on, right? So the body's feeling like you're moving all the time. And after a while, he said, I had to stop it. Dave, back in the day, I would do 3 to 4 gigs a week with 2 different bands. Yep, one was one was for weddings. The others, the clubs and bars. Yeah, I know, Will. You do miss it when you have that long duration of time. And I bet what it is, Will, you miss the playing. But as soon as you get back into it, it's not going to take long for you to say, oh, okay, now I'm older, I still love the playing, but what wears you out is, especially at the end of the gig, and it's not the amps or the guitars, it's the pedals and the chords and the cables, and you're just tired, and people come up to you and they're talking to you. We used to do a lot of CD signing. We would sell our CDs and that, sell our merchandise and do like a meet and greet, and those were fun. Those were a lot of fun. But then we'd have to drive back in Deb. She was always connecting. Yeah. Hey, Michael B, what is happening, man? Did the new channel? Okay. Oh, you like the new channel? No. You know what? It's the sewers.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's smelling sewers like rotten eggs. Like, what the hell, man? Just blame it on me. Yeah.
You fart?
Yeah, thrash metal. You know what? I just added on my channel rockin', the word rockin', Dave. I just learned how to do that on my phone. Will there be gators in the stream? You know what, Thrash? We passed by Alligator Alley. We saw just a couple but floating, but you see how fast everything's going? And it's kind of hard to see because we're on Interstate 75, and you can do 70 miles an hour, and it's kind of hard to see things. But yeah, they're the gators. They're out here, man. But you know what? It's not like they're gonna come out and attack you. Get that guy with the long hair. Leave the girl alone. Leave his wife alone. She's cool.
Yeah,
but yeah, get him. It's not like they're gonna, But yeah, so yeah, and actually, the name. It was actually a friend. Oh, we're back again. Let's see. Michael B. Again, what's happening? Hello. Yeah, headed to see a show. Cheers. Yeah, hey, Michael B. Enjoy your show, man. You and the family. That was really cool when you had your daughter up on the live chat. And I had just missed it. Yeah, man. Yeah, Michael B. He's got a nice studio set up, and tell you what, he's got a lot of good content, a lot of good stuff up there.
Good.
And yeah, Bam, 4 weddings and a funeral. Yeah, you know what, Will and Bam, I've performed at funerals, wakes, because I also play classical guitar, and I mean, you know, I probably will start shooting some more of those videos, but I'm also at the same time keep up the rock and the metal and that. But there was, for a while, I was actually going to start getting involved in the Guitar Foundation of America. Their competitions, and their international competitions and their conventions, but they're pretty pricey to get involved in. And you know, when you win their competitions, if you win big, then you go on these tours, you play with an orchestra, and I know how to read music, but I can't read, you know, fast read it. But see, I also like playing my electric guitar, and you know, oh yeah, these people are great guitar players, man. They're dangerously good. But see, that's good. I like that because that's what helps motivate me to get, you know, better. Oh, thrash metal, yeah, nice gig video hack. Yeah, that was a cool. I like that. I'm glad that other people like Ed Dana, he'll put up his gig videos. Guitar Hack is starting to do that, and it's cool to see that because it does show people that don't necessarily get a chance to play out to happen. And when they want to, you know, put a band together and go out there and gig, whether it be a cover band, mixture of covers and originals and that, and the best thing to do is don't take anything personal if people are not paying attention to you, especially at corporate events, because at a corporate event it would appear that they're not paying attention, but then how many times, Deb, would we get tipped $100 bills with the other tips, and then our pay? And man, here we will sometimes walk around with $600 or $700 at these functions. You know, and then they'll come up to me and says, "Man, that sounded great." So with the corporate gigs, that a lot of my friends in metal bands, oh, I don't want to do those, and that's fine. I'm not knocking them, but then they'll ask me, hey, they'll get on our Facebook. And remember, Deb, we were that guy, the owner of the Indiana Colts.
Yep.
We did this gig. That was a fundraising gig, and so he gives us the address where we're going to set up and that, and we drive, and we pull up to this building with these huge gates. It's a gated community, we think, right? Big old gates, and we got to, you know, call the groundkeeper to let us in. And then, of course, when we get there, the driveway, it seemed like it went on forever. It was like maybe a quarter-mile driveway. Yeah. And then we pull up to what would be our left side was this mammoth mansion, huge mansion, and then to our right was another huge building. Well, that was like their clubhouse, and that's where we were set up to play. And they had inside there, after you walk in, and you have the huge lobby there was another room. You walk in there, and there was this huge, a full-size basketball court. Yeah, so I said to Deb, all right, these people got money, but I didn't know who it was. You know, I don't think like that because I got to concentrate on the music. So then in the middle there was, what was that? Like the Super Bowl ring or something? It was a big, what was that?
It was a stone.
It was a stone.
It was engraved.
It was engraved.
The Super Bowl number that day, the Super Bowl, and all the names of the players.
So since I'm not a sports fan really, in my mind, it's a guy that, you know, he's a big sports fan, right? So I'm playing there, and people are coming in, and we're back. Anyways, so sorry about that, guys. So as I'm playing, you know, all kind of people are coming to me, and they're complimenting me and that, and you know, but I'm there for the fundraiser. So one guy asked me, he's an older guy, asked me, you know, oh, how do you like the event? I says, yeah, this is great, and everyone's treating me great, and this is such an honor to be here, sir. And I didn't know who the guy was, but I'm showing him respect. He's showing me respect. He's being polite to me and that. So he walks away. He says, well, yeah, he gives me the thumbs up, you know. Yeah, you know, you got some good fingers there, man. Oh, thank you, sir. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of the event. Yeah, thank you so much. So he leaves, and then another guy comes up to me, He goes, yeah, that's a nice guy. I go, yeah, he's a real nice guy. He says, do you know who that is? I said, no. He says, that's the owner of the Indiana Colts. I'm like, wow, okay, that's cool. It was real awesome. And then when we did the gig for the Kentucky Derby, and we got a picture with the swimsuit model of the year, Kate Upton. And I got nervous because, we're playing up on the rooftop, and they said there was going to be celebrities there. But we figure, okay, the mayor's going to be there, the alderman and all these other people. We did not realize what it was going to be. So we're playing on the rooftop, and then the door opens, and remember, Deb, these girls are I thought it was like a hooker party. I got nervous. I looked at Deb and says, hey, I don't want to get busted here and go to jail, man, We're just the musicians. We don't want to get any trouble, And then we saw the sheriff, and what we realized, it was the girls that model in the Sports Illustrated swimsuit, issue. And then here comes Kate Upton, but she was all dressed. Dan Levine, he's on ESPN. Because now we meet all these celebrities. After we were done with our performance, they invited us to the VIP party, and I see all these people that I've seen them on TV before, but again, I don't follow sports, so it's not like you're starstruck, And some of the people they play music. Where'd you learn to play like that? That is cool. Did you study in Spain? Because a lot of them do the flamenco style.
Yeah, you get asked that a lot.
Oh, I get asked that a lot. Have I studied in Spain? I said no. I'm a poor Chicago boy from Chicago, and I just practiced a lot, But I did a lot of self-study and a lot of discipline, and I think that right there is what they were seeing. So having a lot of control over your. Here we go. And they come up to us, and I'm just like everyone else out there, man. I'm no superstar, but it is so bizarre when you have celebrities asking you questions that it should be the other way around, but it isn't. And how about it, Deb? That was so bizarre. But they were so polite. It was so cool. We were able to take some pictures with some of them, and I think they liked the fact that I wasn't like hanging on them and nagging them and anything like that. And that's in that world, they like that because they're always asked the same question. Could I take a picture with you? This, that, and the other. And another event was when we met Michael Anthony from Van Halen, and we were in Mexico, and Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, and
That was cool.
that was real cool. Deb and all our friends are in the pool, and who's swimming in the pool? Michael Anthony, and I'm over there playing poolside. He's watching me playing. I had no idea he was there until our friend Greg comes up and says, hey, Dave, you know who's watching you? No. Well, Deb, you guys are. No, you know that guy isn't there. You look familiar, but you don't think. When you're playing, you're in a different zone playing. He goes, that's Michael Anthony. You heard of Van Halen, right, Dave? I said, yeah, of course I heard of Van Halen. And that's Michael Anthony. So he gets out of the pool, and we were talking, and I did not ask him about what the situation was because everybody was asking. But you could tell he was getting aggravated. He didn't like that. But he did compliment me on my playing, and he says, man, yeah, you could play there, And it's all because I didn't bother him, What you start to realize when you meet these people and you meet them in these circumstances, you're the performer. Now they're in the audience. They're watching you. They're taking their break. They're having a great time. You start to realize that nothing has changed. The only thing that has changed is they got star status and more money. But it's still a band. It's still personalities you're dealing with. Sometimes it's great friends, and sometimes you get, creative differences, and it's all the same. It really is all the same. Now, the drummer that I play with at the church, his name is Frank, and when he was in New York, I think he said when he was in New York, one of the gigs, they're playing at the club, and he sees the drummer sitting at the club that plays with Tony Bennett. And he's a big fan of this guy. He says, oh my God, maybe you ought to play. And the guy says, no, I already played. Did the show. Tony Bennett was in town. They played at the theater. and it was a sold out show, and Frank was with his band, and they're playing in this club, and Tony Bennett's drummer says, "Nah, kid, go ahead and play, man. I already done playing. I want to rest. I want to, kick back a little bit." Okay. Well, the singer, female singer, Frank said, she gets on the microphone and she announces, "Hey, Tony Bennett and his band, they're in the house and they had a great show. And let's see if Tony Bennett wants to come up and do a number." And Frank says, "Man, Dave, I got nervous because here's this legendary, iconic figure that's going to come up on stage." And he picks the song, and it happened to be more like of a bossa nova type of a song. So Frank says, "I'm getting into the groove," and first thing I notice, Tony Bennett turns around and looks at me, and he's giving me the thumbs up. So, okay, I'm playing. He says, but the whole time while I'm playing, Tony's getting into the groove, and I'm like, I don't want to mess up. I don't want to mess up. I don't want to mess up. So he does the song, and at the end of the song, everyone's clapping. Everyone's, they're clapping for Tony Bennett, of course. And Tony is real polite with all the musicians and shakes Frank's hand, and he tells Frank, yeah, kid, good job, kid, good job. And then Frank says, "Well, Tony, Mr. Bennett," he goes, "I wanted your drummer to play." Tony says, "Oh, let him take a break, man. You play. You see, my point is that these people that we look up to are no different than you and I, and that's when you start doing all of these shows back to back to back to back to back, you start realizing what their life is like. The only difference is they got their own tour bus, or they got their own RV with their name on it. They got more money, but they're doing the exact same things that you and I are doing. They're on the road, they're playing, they're go, 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 very little sleep." Yeah, hitchhiker on board. Hey, what's happening, Cheryl? Cheryl, let's see, man, read that name. It's real hard for me to see. Sorry about that. Yeah, it was awesome when you were jumping around on top of the... Yeah, oh, thanks. Thanks, Thrash Metal. And flipping the guitar. If you notice, when I'm rocking out and it's more of a rock show and you have the element of excitement, I'll do stuff like that because it's fun. I'm not trying to be a show-off. It's just fun. People like to be entertained. I make mistakes just like anybody else makes mistakes. The difference is I will not draw attention to that mistake. That is a mistake in itself. But yeah, it happens, and I love it. It's fun. And then when I'm playing something that's more subdued, I pull myself back. When I'm playing with a full band, I let the band shine. I'll hold back because you have to start to know your place in different circumstances. And I just thank God that I'm blessed with the talent. I could play these different styles, but I never tried to abuse it. Because, see, that's when you let an ego slip in, man, you're going to head for a downfall big time. Yeah, famous people are people too. Yeah, they need their space. Yeah, well, it is no different. Yeah, wow. Yeah, at the pool gig the other day, when the guy in pink shorts come, oh, yeah, and tipped, yeah, thanks, Red, but yeah. We've had this is like a reoccurring theme. You get people are going to always hire you and tip you if you sound good. I think what happens is with cover bands, and there's a lot of great cover bands, and some of your absolutely toughest gigs will be the cover gigs. And what I mean by that is you got to cover a broad spectrum, not only of styles, but different sounds. People are expecting more. It can be a lot more tougher to write originals if you're not a creative person, because you have no reference point other than your instrument. But what I'm going to say is that people will always listen to you if you sound good. You could play their favorite song, and if it's not all that good, or if you're not into it, you will get those people that'll say, well, this ain't happening. Because I've had people tell me when they were in the Keys, they'll say, Dave, watch this guy playing, and he looks like he doesn't even want to be there. So because he doesn't want to be there, I'm not getting into it, so we left. And you always have a mixed crowd. Okay, I gotta catch up on the list. Because when you freeze and the chat keeps going on. I played a wedding band where the bass player ran off with the bride during the break.
What?
And yes, we got paid ahead of time to, the bass player ran off with the bride. I hope that was the groom. Michael B, have a good one, yeah. Oh yeah, about your daughter, yeah. I'll tell you, Michael B, that was so cute. You there with your daughter, and that was awesome. So yeah. Yeah, Michael B, you have a good one too, man. Yeah, I saw they're paying $5 tail for the. Let's see. People start making social responsibility fun out of them. Yeah. Yeah, you get all that. Yeah, that's interesting. With the bass player taking off with the bride. We had a wedding gig where the groom, he actually rescheduled his wedding because the original date of his wedding, we were booked. And he says, no, I want you to play my wedding, so I'll tell you what, I'll talk to my wife-to-be, and we'll switch our wedding. That was a gig we did in Michigan. And that was such an honor that someone would do that for me when they have all these options. There's so many great musicians out there, but, it was just such an honor. That's why I don't take it for granted, because, man, you never know. Hack mentioned Absolute Mayhem was there or something. Yeah, didn't realize he was called. Yeah. I seen Ben Coombs singing some backups on stage with you. Yeah, see, that's cool. Yeah, because I'll go with the Helix. Yeah, Zach, you're right. They have, and I think EJ's guitars, he had bought that matching cab. Have a matching cab that is specifically tailored for the Helix or really any other guitar effect processor. But being line 6, it's going to be tailored for the Helix, and I think that's a great idea. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to catch up on. Let's see. Yeah, Whistler. Katie's married to Justin. Oh, okay. Yeah. Famous people are people too. Absolutely will. Yeah. Hitchhiker on board, hello. Oh yeah, using the railing as a slide, yeah. It's all in fun. And this is what I mean. Sometimes you can't think about things, you just go for it. You have to, I think what it is, you have to create your own environment. Sorry about that. We just accelerated and boom, I got close to the... You have to really create your own environment. And you know what? If you really love to play, you're not going to care if it's a packed house or a packed house. I'm not saying it does, it will help when people are cheering you on. It gives you that extra. But if you really are sincere about your playing, that you really love to play, trust me, it is not going to matter if you got a packed house or not. You're just thrilled that you have the ability and the opportunity to play for people. If they like it, that's fine. If they don't like it, as long as you're having fun. Because part of putting on a show is putting on a show. And if a person wants to get hopeful, to get more connections, if someone sees that you have this type of energy, that no matter what, if this person's going to invest money and take you to these bigger shows, now they could definitely see value in investing their money in you, because they're like, hey, if this guy is having this much fun at an empty house, could you imagine if the house is packed? We're getting gas now.
Yeah, I gotta go pee.
Okay.
Hold on, Alex.
Okay. I'll stay here, Deb.
Yeah, stay here.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So, but anyways, so then they're gonna see value, and they'll start, helping you out if they can. It's fine. But my point is that when you love doing something, all of that doesn't really matter. It's just you're in that moment. It's fun, and people see that, and it's actually a joy to be able to have that ability to do that, to take people away from this crazy world that we live in and transport them into another place, even for a few hours. And I've had so many people not only come up to me, but mostly they'll come up to Deb when she's doing a lot of my shows. They'll ask Deb, how come he's not on a bigger stage, or how come he's not making it, or how come he's not famous? And that's when Deb will say a lot of it's politics and money. That's just how that is. But he looks like he's enjoying himself. Yeah, you can't let anything get you down. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up, guys. Gotta go. I'm editing a new one, and videoing is done. Yeah, no problem, Thrash Metal. You got some good stuff there. Now, it's really cool that you had your dad playing there, man. And what you were doing with your daughter. She's over there singing away. Dude, that was so cute, and that was so brilliant. You're saying, the funny things that kids will say. Or am I just getting a good way of getting them to do chores around? That was really cool, man. That was really cool. Janice Lala, what is happening? RGD, the mad one. Yep. Busy, Janice. That's always good to be busy. Willie, Dave, the bride and the bass player were old lovers before. The groom booked us and didn't know him. They were drunk together and ran off for a week. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Holy crap. I'll tell you what, man. Hopefully they're still married. Because we had some doozies on a couple of wedding gigs. Nothing like that, though. That takes the cake, man. That just takes the cake, man, But see, wedding gigs now are so much different than what they were before. Now you could do a wedding ceremony and more rock. I did this one goth metal wedding ceremony. I was still dressed up, but I busted out the BC Rich Warlock, and I had my, my guitar synth, and that's what they wanted. I'm like, oh. Okay, we're still alive. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna stand out here. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Nope. Let's see. You gotta be. Well, you know what? They got divorced 3 weeks later. Well, I'll tell you what, man. You play, you pay, right? But that's a very expensive lesson to learn. Because I'll tell you what, man, all that money gets spent. Deb, you got the keys, right, hon? So it goes, okay. Yeah. He said after that bass player left, ran off with the bride, yeah. 3 weeks later there was a divorce.
That's probably more of an annulment.
Yeah.
It's less than a year to get it.
Yeah, annulment, yeah. So, but yeah, we just wanted to shoot this live real quick, guys. Let's see who else is in here. Yeah, some marriages are not meant to be. You're right, Dale. She married the bass player. She married the bass player, Deb. Well, if she sings, hopefully she's singing with the bass player, because next time she'll be running around. I don't know. I shouldn't say that. But I tell you, these things happen, man. What are you gonna do? I guess that marriage, that was meant to be. Yeah, Dale. How about it, man? How about it? But it's just a lot of fun. Playing music is a lot of fun. We were able to do all our road shows. We would go through, I don't know how many states. Had a chance to meet Ringo Starr, but I had to forfeit that one because right after we did that gig, we had to hurry up and tear the gear down and drive all the way down to southern Indiana. Randy Tritt, what is happening, man? No, she divorced the bass player too. She's still available. Any takers? Hey, I'm taking, man. And even if I wasn't, I don't know about that one. But yeah, we were doing a gig, another corporate gig up in Minnesota. Huge event. All these doctors and these lawyers and all that. And then we had forfeit our opportunity to meet Ringo Starr and pack the gear up and then drive on south to the next gig, Yep, I'm parked at Love's. You can see that. Yeah, hey, Charles Booth. Chuck Booth, what's happening, man? Yep, we are parked at Love's. We're getting gas. We're almost home from spending some time with friends from Chicago. In Fort Lauderdale. We were in Fort Lauderdale. Now we're driving back to home, North Fort Myers. But yeah, Will said now she divorced. She left a bass player, so she's available. I don't know, man. That's high maintenance, big trouble there. Let's see. Oh, you're taking my break at one. You're taking your break on. Oh, do you work at Love's? Or you're just taking a break? Yeah, we're just fueling up here. This is off of a road called Bay Shore Road, Interstate 78. Ooh. And then the expressway there is Interstate 75. And truck driver. Oh, nice. I'll tell you what.
CDL.
Yeah, CDL. Deb and I, we still have our CDL license, and I also have a driving job. But what I do now is, I still do the music, of course, but I take people to their doctor appointments. Oh, you're in Kansas. Yeah, Kansas. We had a situation in Topeka, Kansas. Remember that? Yeah, a deer. We were on our way to do our second gig in New Mexico, and we're on our way. We're going through Topeka, Kansas. It was like 5:40 in the morning, so dawn was just breaking, and out of nowhere, a deer jumped over a concrete medium right into front of the RAV that I drive now. Not this RAV. This is the newer one. Deb has this one. So we had to get the car towed all the way back to Illinois. That sucked. And of course, the people at the club, they were very understanding. That's rare, because usually when you get gigs booked, they're not so understanding. But they were real understanding. Yeah, I guess I'm not in Kansas anymore. Yeah, the worst time for oh yeah, Chuck. It was unbelievable, man.
Get a receipt. Somebody put the paper in backwards so it didn't print.
I don't understand this, man. How hard is it to do your job? They put the paper in backwards, Wow. But yeah. Yeah, it is the worst time for a deer. Yeah. And again, it took out. Yep. Education. Oh, you're going to love this story. Before, I'm going to just tell you guys one more story. Friends of ours that we were visiting with, I guess it's her son-in-law. They moved to Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona. And yeah, he didn't finish college. I guess I don't know if he went to college out there. He didn't finish college, and he went out there to visit his family, and he liked it. So he told us, let's move out there. So, oh, I mean loading, baby. Yeah, yeah. So he doesn't finish college, right? But he decides to open up a window washing business. And now the colleges are hiring him. He's getting real successful. I mean, he's doing very, very good. And I said to our friend Jan, I said, now isn't something? I said, this kid's brilliant. I said, how old is this kid? Said, I don't know, he's like 26 years old. I said, this kid's brilliant. I said, here's something. He doesn't finish college. He drops out of college. Now the colleges are hiring him. He's not paying the college. The colleges are paying him because he's got a business that's a need. Because who the hell wants to wash windows, right? That's like who the hell wants to take garbage out, right? And then some college kids open up their own business called 1-800-GOT-JUNK. And now they're what they call the blue-collar millionaires. You see what I mean?
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, Chuck, you've nailed excuse me, you nailed two of them in a month's time at about the same time. Yeah. Right around dawn. Yep. That right there, man. That's why. So we got the deer whistles on our car, but then we didn't have to go back out there. So that's when we came down here in Florida.
Like I used to.
But no, but we did, the last gig that we did out west was Colorado, Estes Park, and that was around July 4th, July 3rd or 2nd, like that, in Estes Park, Colorado. Visited with our friends in Littleton, Colorado for 4th of July, and then drove back home, and then the end of July, we relocated down here to Fort Myers, Florida, North Fort Myers, Florida, and then we haven't done any out of state gigs because there was so much that was going on down here that yeah.
We're so far down the
Oh yeah.
6 or 7 hours from the state line in Georgia.
Oh yeah, we're like 6 or 7 hours from the Georgia state line. We're south. Chuck, I send that song. Chuck driving man out. It's good. Yeah. There you go.
You wrote a song?
Look how you send them a Skinner song. But yeah, I mean the driving jobs. Yeah, you know you got to do that. Oh, Dave, okay, you got. What's a deer whistle? Sounds like a type of. Yeah, no, it's those little. They look like they're about this big, and they stick on the front of your car. And I guess when you drive, they'll create a sound. These deers get a high pitched sound to help keep the
It
deers.
actually worked because when we had them on the car, we came down into Florida.
Yeah.
And at the border, there were all those deer.
That's
and
right.
When we came down, they ran away.
They ran away from the car, so they actually works.
So they do actually work.
You could get them at any Track Auto or O'Reilly's Auto Parts. Just ask for the deer whistles. And apparently they do work, which was great. Randy Tritt, I'm working on that song now. Gonna do a cover of it. Yeah, Randy, go ahead. Yeah, post that up, man. I enjoy watching people play, man. To me, I am still that kid that started playing back in '74, that wow factor. Actually, even before that, before I started playing that, it's in the hippies, because we live in an apartment complex. In 1969, summer of '69, I was 5 years old. There's certain things you can remember, and there are certain memories that are just engraved in my mind, and I'll never forget that. They'd sit in the courtyard of our apartment complex, and they'd be playing the amps, they'd be plugged in and playing, and it'd be an old thin extension cord coming out down the window, and everyone's plugged into it like the Griswolds. 900 plugs plugged into one outlet, but it just looked cool.
Lamp cord.
A lamp cord, yeah, lamp cord. Oh, see, to me, it inspires me. You know, because to me, it's wow factor. It's an electric guitar. Look at that. That is cool. You know. So I think what's happened with our generation and people, older than me. Yeah, you enjoy it too, Randy. Yep. It's never gonna go away. It's never really gonna go away like the classic cars. Yep, on the road again. Zip guitar effects. Yep, back on the road. We're almost home. When you go to all these classic car shows, people our age, we want to keep our youth. This is what helps keep us young. So, I think we might see something with our people our age where we won't maybe hit it big in music, because I mean that's unless something turns around and say, hey, you know what, the hell with this younger generation, let's look at the older generation because they're really the ones playing the instruments, and let's invest money into these people and keep them alive, because we're starting to realize they're keeping our businesses alive. They're buying our products, they're buying our amplifiers, they're out there playing. So that would be really cool. What would be really cool, I understand what NAM is, the National Association of Music Merchants. We all understand that. But if NAM's got so much competition with Sweetwater and all the vintage guitar shows, and we also did a guitar clinic at one of the vintage guitar shows. So if they start saying, hey, for NAM, let's look at all the YouTubers and let's invite people in. We know about the stars, but now there's this new generation, and a lot of the new generation, a lot of them are in their 40s and 50s, so these are the people that were going to keep our boat floating, because they remember the back in the day when we played through, real guitar amps and all that. So at some point, I wonder if there's going to come at least maybe a couple of shows where they'll say, let's try this, guys, and let's see where this takes us, because how many times could you go out to California, see the same product, another new product that does something different than the old product? Now, instead of orange, it's painted green, and they add an extra tone knob or something. At some point, the ideas are going to start to get stale. You can only shake hands with old, aging rock stars with iconic names. People are starting to realize that, hey, you got all these other people that never made it, but they're just as good as these stars. Oh, they got the eagle's nest up there. And they've still got that hunger. So let's try something and open up the bullpen for people. I don't know, I could be wrong, but... Dave, when my son was 10, he plays classical violin. We went to his first recital at school. He shocked the audience and his mom by playing Deep Purple, Smoke on the Water. I was so proud. And he did it on the violin, right? Yeah, see? This is what I mean. Everything is evolving and it's changing. That is awesome. That is totally awesome. Everything is changing. They're breathing new life into old music. Oh yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up here. Oh yeah, Chuck, they do. They sell the deer whistles at truck stops too. Jamming with your buds is definitely the best. It really is, And I'll tell you what's real nice with the guitar community. Every time a person puts up a video and someone puts something to it, it's kind of like a virtual jam. Only because people, we live in different parts of the country, so it makes and parts of the world. So it makes it a little harder to, it's not like Guitar Hack lives down the street from me. Because Canada is so far from where we're at, you know what I mean? And everyone else, all points in between. But it is a way of getting together and jamming with people. Zip Fix guitars. Let's see. Yeah, I give a lot of guitars to kids. I just gave the blue one away today. Nice. She's a happy girl. I bet she is, man. You know, see that right there. You're putting joy into these kids' lives. You know, and not every kid is a dumb millennial. You know what I mean? You get some of these kids, they're very, very sharp. I think you got a lot more sharper kids than stupid ones. You know what I mean? You get some of these kids that at first it might be hard for them to play, but then they're so determined that they're going to get it sooner or later. They're definitely, and they just keep working on it. Oh man, are you in Ohio yet?
Feels like it.
Feels like it. Oh, okay, I gotta turn that one off right there. Just like all you guys, so much better than the headliners. Janice Lala, thank you. You know, a lot of, you know what it is? A lot of the headliners is a combination of a combination of many things. Some of them are old, they're worn out from the road. Anyone who's ever done road shows, tours, or anything, whatever you want to call it, we could tell you, we would sleep in our cars. We weren't rich and famous. The road beats you up. Ask any over-the-road trucker. I think the closest you could get is an over-the-road trucker, and frankly, the over-the-road truckers are doing a lot more road gigs than your stars. A hell of a lot. So, yeah, and it does beat up the body. And then you got to go and perform. And now you're tired. And at the end of the gig, if you don't have roadies, because remember, everything costs money, and you need to make money, you become the roadie. Now you're tired. Now you got to pack up your gear, put it back in the car, and go on to the next gig. It gets very tiring. Yeah. Oh, Zip Guitars, you're in Rhode Island. Wow.
Wow.
There's a lot of young bluegrass players. Yeah, exactly. Playing AC/DC and stuff that some new stuff going on here in the mountains. Yeah, everything is evolving. Everything. I jam along with YouTube guys all the time. They can't hear me, but I've got my guitar. Yeah, Chuck. That's the whole thing.
Sweet.
It's, you know, 12 years, ups and downs. All up and down the East Coast for me. Yeah.
Wow.
I sold a lot of my gear. Let's see. A lot of my gear to put him through college. He's graduating in September. Oh, your kid was, wow, Will. That's
Wow,
awesome.
nice.
But you see, you made a sacrifice so your son could make something of his life. You know what I mean? And I really think people need to get that recognition. You know what I mean? So if anybody wants to give like gear away and manufacturers, you know, it's nice to do it for the people that are doing the you know, demo videos. But I think would be even nicer if they want to give stuff away, maybe start donating to some people that will make those sacrifices. And then in return, that person wants to support that company because they did a nice gesture. And because I know there are people who put these videos up, and I understand what they're saying about, you know, it's nice to get all this new stuff, and that's great. And I'm not knocking it at all. But what about the people that are actually gigging? They're actually taking that product and they're doing it in a real life situation. You know how many times I've had people ask me, Dave, what are you using? What kind of gear are you using? And it's all because of something that they see me, you know, when I'm playing. Now I'm going to move the car. You know? So, sorry guys. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying anything to be, you know, jealous or envious of people free gear. I mean, I think that's great. I'm happy for them. If anyone wants to give stuff away, give it to people who really needs it, you know? This is where I gotta fumble and stumble. So, anyways, guys, I think I'm gonna have to shut this down. And I'm gonna read the rest of these comments. But yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. You guys make all YouTube that much worthwhile. You know, you guys and gals out there are the real deal. The reason that I continue to do the videos that I do. I'm trying to do too many things at once. and just share the things. And I love when you guys share stuff because I learn from all you guys, you know? So yeah, guys, listen, you guys have a great rest of the weekend, and enjoy the rest of your weekend, and thank you for tuning in. And until next video, we'll talk very soon. All of you, my friends and guitar family out there, you guys take care. Okay, I gotta do this. Rock on, and God bless, my friends. Take care.